Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of Advanced Ragdoll Tech. In this video I'm going to be covering advanced movement, like how you can interact with other people's ragdolls, and other interesting ping glitches and other bugs that can happen with ragdolls. In terms of the ping stuff, I'm only going to cover a few of them, the most common ones, and then there's a bunch of other ping glitches that I'll cover in a separate video. But yeah, hope you enjoy. Okay, so my next section for ragdolls, I'm going to talk about how other ducks can interact with your ragdoll. So if this duck were to ragdoll, for example, he cannot get up, no matter how much he wiggles, like any direction. If he tries to unragdoll, it's not going to work. As long as someone's grabbing your ragdoll, you cannot get up. And so there's several things you can do with this. So the first is like just general ragdoll throwing. So you can just, like, if you have someone's ragdoll, you can like throw them like that, but it's kind of like ineffective. Like if someone ragdolls and you grab them and you want to just throw them off the edge, you can just like jump and like throw them off the edge like that, but it's kind of ineffective. And so what you should do instead is there's several methods that you can do to throw someone's ragdoll really fast and really far. So if you grab someone's segments, one of their segments, and one of them, they're both in front of you like this, you can just turn, jump and throw really fast, and you can throw them fast like that, something like that. And if you're in the air, then they'll go really fast. And then the other thing you can do is, if you just think about it as like a C shape, where if you have their segment, you can like turn around and throw them like that. Like imagine their body is going in like a C. You can like throw them high and stuff like that, and like get them up high places. So like something like this. Where you're turning around, and then when their body is in the correct position, you're letting go. And so the main thing is to remember is to, like, if they're like this, that you can't throw them that well, because their body is, if you try to like turn and throw them, their body is kind of get stuck on you. And so it just generally doesn't work that well, unless I'm just being good, I guess, right now. So like if I want to throw the duck around, I want to like do a C shape where I'm turning and then jumping and throwing. So like something like that. I just want to talk about if you both grab someone's ragdoll. I'm not really sure. It kind of bugs out. So this is just me like on two different like people, but it's like it's only one account. So even though it's online, it doesn't let me do like the weird liftoff bug. But I just thought it was interesting that it makes the duck very spinny for some reason, and my screen is shaking. But that's an interesting bug. And I seem to have bugged the momentum of the duck, and it's just now swinging back and forth in the... I don't know why. Oh, now it's fixed. But see, if we both grab, it sort of like breaks the thing, and then it like, I don't know, it's weird. So if multiple people grab the same ragdoll here, then it will bug out the ragdoll's like velocity and send you into orbit. So because your ragdoll has like a physical hitbox, and you know how if you throw an item at a duck, that it will disarm them if you throw I guess not equipment, because that just goes through them, but if you throw like a gun like this, then it will disarm the duck and push them away. But you can also do that with your ragdoll. So if, like, for example, if you don't have a gun and you dodge their shot, you can do like a sort of ragdoll at them. But if you just ragdoll at them, your body can like disarm them, and then you can just like grab the gun and immediately shoot them. But I find that like it's easiest for me if I like unragdoll, like I do like a crouch ragdoll at their feet. But then again, it also might be like right before their feet where I unragdoll. And that seems to work the best for me. But I mean, you can also just do something like this where you just like flat ragdoll at them, or you don't unragdoll. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to make it work. I think the main thing is you just need to have enough like velocity, and it helps if both of your segments hit them. And there's one more weird ragdoll interaction I want to mention. So normally if you're going against like a key door, or if you want to like door clip the key door, you just ragdoll twice against it. But if another duck is standing on the other side of it, if you ragdoll at all, you're just going to get pushed away. So like the only button I press here is ragdoll, and I just get forced away. So even though I tried, it's like there's a force field. Like I can't like actually get in the door and ragdoll, get close enough to the door. Like it's like there's a massive force field, which is just really interesting. Okay, so before I talk about advanced movement, I want to talk about what happens with ping and ragdolls. And there's a ton of interactions. I'm only going to share a few here. Some of them I'll just put in a later video on specific ping glitches. So firstly, if for the key door glitch, if the person has high ping or there's a high ping difference between you, if you're holding a gun, ragdolling against the door can cause you to like freeze the gun in midair and like freeze a instance of yourself with the gun, and then unragdolling wherever you are will teleport the gun to you. So for the next ping glitch, this is in my opinion the most common one, which is when there's a high ping difference and someone unragdolls on their screen, and when you pick them up on your screen they're still ragdolled. So then that will cause them to glitch out, and like their body can become invisible. They'll be unable to get up because their real duck is like frozen in midair. And then what will happen is a ping reset, where the duck will go to the duck's like ragdoll will disappear, and they'll teleport to the very top of the map. And this can allow you to get outside the map and other things like that. And the last scenario, which is in my opinion the least common, although this might happen more if there's lower ping, is when you grab someone's body as they, I think, also try to unragdoll, and this time it can create another instance of their body, but it's not like through ping, I think. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how this works, but that's just my best guess. And this instance of their body can be interacted with. Like here, it holds open the door, so the door won't close while their body's still like unragdolled, while their body's still ragdolled. And it also will. You can kill the body if you bonk it. You can like interact with it any way that's not shooting it with a bullet. Okay, so the next tech I want to talk about for ragdolling is probably one of the most advanced ragdoll tech, and it's also pretty fun if you're able to do it. It's kind of useful. But it's kind of inconsistent also. It's like the closest thing to bee-hopping for this game that you can get, I would say. And it's called a Ragdash. So how it works is it converts all your vertical like velocity into horizontal velocity. So like if you're like going very fast or going very fast like falling down, you can go pretty fast and like transition that into all horizontal velocity. But you honestly, like, the hardest part is just getting down the inputs and like timing and stuff like that. So there's kind of different ways to do it, but it all revolves around the same idea. Is that when you want to get like as much height as you can, so like usually you can start with like a ragdoll jump, and then when you come down, you want to ragdoll right before you hit the floor, and then do a crouch, just like that. And I can slow it down for you. And it also does work if you just like ragdoll like this. I would say you're probably not going to get as much speed, but it's whichever way you prefer. I think it works much better if you just ragdoll closer to the ground. But you can do these Ragdashes even if you ragdoll far up, as long as I think your ragdoll keeps like its shape, as long as it's straight. I think that's the main thing. But yeah. So it also works on springs. So if you were to, like, I mean, first of all, you can just use the spring, like, speed you get to do a Ragdash. If you get the timing right. It can be kind of hard to time it if you're falling down very fast. But you can get it, like, a very, very fast one this way. But otherwise, there's something called spring canceling, which I'll talk about more in the video on springs. but the basic principle behind how it works is if you jump right as you go onto a spring, you sort of cancel the spring's jump. And so you see, I'm not getting super high if I jump. Like there, I didn't do it, but here, if I just jump on it. So if you are to ragdoll and then like crouch to jump on the corner of the spring, then you can convert like all the speed you would get from the spring into like a big ragdash. And I can show what that would look like now. And the main thing to keep in mind that when you do ragdash, after you do your ragdoll crouch jump, or jump crouch or whatever you want to press them around the same time, you want to keep holding crouch, because when you are crouched, you keep all your like velocity and you keep all your momentum. Like if I release crouch immediately after doing it, I'm gonna come to a stop very fast. But stuff like holding crouch or pressing ragdoll again allow you to conserve your momentum. And then what you can do with that is you can chain them together. So instead of crouching, you can just immediately ragdoll again. And then you can chain them together and they're called like ninja ragdashes, I'm pretty sure. But you can go very fast with that, although it's kind of difficult. Kind of like that, actually. But to be honest, I would say ragdashes are, like, you're not going to do them all the time, but it's also very useful if, like, someone's chasing you, and you do, like, jump off a cliff or whatever, or, like, jump from a high spot, that you know you can get a lot of, like, velocity, and you can just, like, escape from them very easily, assuming you don't fail. But yeah, you can go really fast, and it's really nice. But, like, I mean, even if you do fail, like, you're not really losing that much speed. Like, of course, it takes me probably, like, if I fail, I'm going to be, like, half a second slower or whatever, which might matter. But, like, if you succeed, then you're going really fast, and you're going to escape no problem. Okay, so the last ragdoll tech I want to talk about, I would say, in my opinion, it's kind of harder than Ragdashes, probably because I'm just better at Ragdashes and I just haven't done this tech that much. But it's called Wallbounces. And so this is also kind of useful. I would say, in my opinion, it's less useful and it's kind of harder. So how it works is when you ragdoll, I mean, first of all, there's several ways to do it. So I'll just show each different method that I know how. But when you ragdoll, when you want to slide jump into a wall, and at the apex of your jump, you want to ragdoll off the wall, and you'll see right there that my body overlaps with each other, like the ragdoll parts are overlaps, and I'm pretty sure that's what you want. And then this uses ragdashing, where you wall bounce, and then once you get to the floor, you want to do a ragdash, because your body parts are aligned perfectly. And so you want to crouch jump. And so once you do this, then you can get a lot of speed, like, away from the wall. And I find it also works if there's, like, a platform here, where there's something where it's just, like, one block above. It's not that hard. I do it a lot in the lobby. It's pretty cool. But what you can do is you can just ragdoll and then fall down. Like, see there, it pushed me away from the wall. And I was able to get a nice ragdash. And I also find, I think, doing it lower, like, before I did a big jump, and it's harder to time and stuff, so if you just do, like, a little hop, you can do something like that, which is pretty good. But what you can also do is, if you just slide down the wall and then, like, ragdoll, like, right around here, you can do, like, a wall bounce just off of this, because it will align your segments and kind of boost you away. Something like that. That's pretty good. And again, I'm not sure if it matters if you're, like, facing the wall or whatever. I think you want to be sliding into it feet first. But then again, I'm not sure if it matters. You might be able to get the ragdoll segment alignment this way also. But I mean, just from testing for like a minute, I'm not able to get it. So I think you might just want to put your feet first into the wall. It's probably the easiest way. But yeah, you can try whichever method you're consistent with. I think practicing the lobby helps a lot because there's this perfect setup, so I can show you right now. Just for anyone wondering, this is in the online lobby. So what I just do is I go up here and then I slide and do something like that where I ragdoll and then like I ragdoll right around where like this keyboard is, you see? And then I do like a crouch jump, which is like the same thing as a ragdash. And it works pretty well. And you can get boosted pretty far. Yeah. Something like that. You can also just do it this way, where you just jump. I think the main point of this is you need to time your like ragdolling right at the apex of your jump, and you also need to time the ragdash. Like I find this way is more fluid, where you're just like coming down. But I mean, both ways work probably the same. So yeah. I just wanted to quickly mention that you can do a wall bounce without jumping. Okay, so that's the end of the video on part 2 of Advanced Ragdoll Tech. I might eventually make a part 3 once I have enough stuff, because I'm sure I missed some stuff. But that probably won't be for a while. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please comment if you have any questions and share this video with anyone who might be interested. My next video will probably be net guns and camping guns, because there's a ton of stuff with that. So that should be a fun video to do. Keep on duck gaming. Peace.